to me. They can put up with me and Jim and Linda. And we were talking today that it doesn't seem like a whole month that they've been here. And it's probably because I have cooked about 3 meals. And I tell them, just don't call me from jail, because I'm not coming after you. You have to clean your own rooms and all that. So it makes life really easy to have them in our home, and they're just pretty special, these guys here, and Charlie. So, and I'm sure Linda feels the same way. So we very much appreciate you coming to our places and to Arkansas. I'm sure that you had to look Arkansas up on the map when they told you your host city will be Arkansas, and they went, damn, we got to go there? But hopefully your opinion has changed just a little bit, and you can go back and tell people it was a pretty good place to be, and it is real America. So we welcome you. We're glad that you're here. It's going to be weird not to come home to you. Boomer and Bailey will miss all of you, for sure, the dogs. So, thank you for being part of our lives. Vicki says it best. She says, I can't travel all over the world, so the world comes to me. And I think that that's really something that we cherish with this whole group of friends, that it's a really good way to learn about the whole world. And we find that we all put our pants on one leg at a time, and we really are very much the same. And I think that's very important in this day and age, that we understand it's not about the governments that run us, it's about us. So, thank you for being here. I welcome you back anytime. We have 3 bedrooms, and unless Toni's in one of them, you're always welcome to be here. Y'all can understand that. So, without further ado, Walter is going to do our first presentation, and then Patrick, and then Kevin Say.
All right.
And then Ira has something special.
This group is adapted very well to life. And I got a real good reminder of that last night. As you know, the Jim and Toni Hotel has been maximum capacity for about a month now, 6 weeks. And so Toni was in Washington with a choir group. It had 10 people in it. And I don't know if they all stayed here or not. At times it seems like. So anyway, they were winding up last night, their group. And so she emailed to all of us a very successful conclusion, and everybody was very happy and jolly. And so Lobby, who is here in Little Rock, emailed back, you got to come home, Toni. The house is on fire. So I wanted to ease Toni's mind. So I wrote to Lobby and said, you can put it out yourself, and we know that you can, because you are competent enough to be selected for this program. And his response to that was, well, if you're not doing anything, this is 1 a.m.
They don't go to bed till 5 a.m.
Come on down to Cajun Wharf and we can have a bourbon together. So anyway, this is what I call cultural adaptation, and what they do very well.
Yes.
Now, the fire alarm notwithstanding, this is a very bright and very competent group, and give you an idea. they all speak, all four of them speak at least 4 languages. And one of them speaks 4 languages and several dialects, too numerous for her to be able to enumerate. So this is a bright group. They have all added another language during their stay here. And I always say that I'm bilingual. I speak English and Southern. And they have all added Southern to their vocabulary. For example, if you ask any of them, and we'll all probably say this, or one of us will, they'll all hear this. They'll hear the Southern invitation to return, and it says, "Y'all will come back here." And they know what that means. Now, to fully certify the 5th or 6th language that they have all learned, I have an official acknowledgement of that. They all get a Southern Legislative Dictionary. Now, most of you are familiar with it. For example,
Is this something that we
there's one expression that they've all learned. Those of us, most of us in the room have grown up in Arkansas. I grew up in Crawford. And I thought that when I went to Little Rock to go Christmas shopping, and it was like New York City as far as I was concerned. And we had an expression then, and it's in this book. It says, "I've been clean to Memphis." And some of you have heard that expression. And you know, that's a real long journey. So that's in here. And there are some very good examples like that. Because the most eloquent speakers of Southern are members of the legislature. And many of them have legislative experience or have aspired to it. So I want to present to each one of you a copy of the Southern Legislative Dictionary.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here you are. Now, for our edification of our visitors. One of the hats that I wear is that I'm a book publisher. And this is the smallest book that we ever published and the best seller. We reprinted it 8 times. Because it does more to explain Southern speech and Arkansas dialect in particular than anything that has ever been published. So we want to, when they go home, they'll be able to go through and properly pronounce.
Because I have heard it.
Yeah.
For example, mischievous, which means impish. And then my favorite is the fire tower. And fire tower is a place where a forest ranger looks for forest fire. So you go to the top of the fire tower.
Fire tower.
They have become
Fire tower.
well enough acquainted
Love it.
with our dialect that they will know that instantly and can pronounce it properly. So, and of course, our clean on to Memphis is also in here as well. Anyway, and all the Arkies know what barbed wire is. This is fencing to keep the cows in. So they will know that barbed wire, what barbed wire is. So they've been clean to Perryville, clean to Pine Bluff, and so they have really gotten out and learned the natives.
And they've actually really been clean to Memphis
Well,
as
fine.
well.
Clean to New Orleans.
Clean to New Orleans. That's right.
I have a little story to tell. It's ancient history, and it goes back to the days in the early 19th century, before Arkansas really became a
Facebook
state,
Live.
officially a state, and it was one vast wilderness, and there just a few settlements,
This is Facebook Live.
and a few locations around, and to go from one point of the state to another was a real journey. And you had to follow a very dim trail through the forest. And one day, as sundown was approaching, there was this traveler who was on a horse, and he was going through the forest trying to hopefully find some place where he could spend the night. He knew that if he didn't play, he'd get his blanket out and tie up his horse, and he'd sleep in the forest and hope that he didn't have any difficulty with the wildlife while he was asleep. He got lucky and he came onto a clearing. And in the clearing was a family, a frontier family. Probably raised an acre or two of corn, and that was probably their main means of sustenance, maybe a couple of cows and a few chickens. And there was a guy sitting on a log at this clearing, and it was obviously that this was a family homestead. There were a couple of kids playing tag and on the edge. The mother was scrubbing the clothes in a hot tub of water over a fire, and the man in the house was sitting on a log, and he was playing a fiddle. And it was kind of a strange scene in a way, because he would play the fiddle, play about 3 or 4 bars, and he'd stop. And you could tell he was frustrated, and he'd go, something, kind of a grimace, and he'd start over. And he did this 3 or 4 times. And the guy on the horseback was, of course, was hoping he could find that this might be a place where he could stay. And so he said to the saddler, what are you playing? And he said, well, it's a song that I used to know, and I could play it all the way through. But I've forgotten most of it, and I can only remember the first part of it. And so the guy on horseback reached over and he said, let me have that fiddle. So he took the fiddle and he played the song all the way through. And the guy who owned the fiddle and was playing, he was ecstatic. And all of his frustration melted. And he turned around and he said, Ma, put some more straw in the cabin and put another plate on the table. We're going to have a guest for tonight. And so he spent the night there. And this has come to symbolize the hospitality that we find in Arkansas. And so we have a clear and visible symbol of that for each of us. And by the way, this scene has become a painting. called the Arkansas Travelers. And each one of you gets one of these. I'll tell you about this. You can read the full text of this. It is signed by the Secretary of State of Arkansas and by the governor.
Wow.
And it goes only to people who come to visit us from outside the state. Nobody who lives in Arkansas, including all of us in this one, is eligible to get one of these. And this one, this first one is for Charlie.
Yay, Charlie!
It's live.
Ah, okay, well, good.
Brian will see it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sheila.
Oh. Look at me. Look this way.
Okay.
That's a long name.
All right, here's your envelope. Sheila, here's
Here,
your envelope.
grab your envelope.
Sorry, I ripped one of them.
Robbie.
Oh,
The firefighter.
yeah.
The most eligible man in Malaysia.
Come on. Oh, turn around this way.
Oh,
Turn, you gotta turn. Turn. Yeah.
Thank you, Walter.
Broadcasting worldwide.
Good photo ops later on.
That's it, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
There you go.
All right, Tina, come on.
Come on down. Come on down.
Thank you so much.
Arkansas Travelers.
I think I like to say that as a moral to the story is if you play the fiddle all by yourself or you think that your country's the only one and you can live and forever by yourself, then you don't have the whole song. But if you can live as a global community and know each other from all over the world, that you will finally have the ability to play the whole song. So, I think it's great.
I have one other story to tell, and that is, I was once taking a group of Arkansas teachers to Japan, and we were seeing a lot of the variety of the country just as visitors have. And we wound up on a kiwi farm in the middle of Japan as part of the agricultural component. And we were there most of the afternoon, and we saw more kiwis in 2 hours than we will see in 200 years. And so, and we learned, as those of you who've been to Japan know, you learn every detail and how to raise kiwi exactly perfectly. It's perfect cultural representation. So as we were leaving, the farmer took us to his little office, and it was about the size of this room. And it was very plain and obviously a place where he conducted his business. There was one thing on his wall. It was an Arkansas Traveler certificate. And it was signed by the governor at that time, and his name was Bill Clinton. And so it was, it showed what a small world we live in, and it shows also of all the things that this man had achieved in terms of economic success, because he was obviously had become wealthy in his business. This was the one thing that he wanted on public display. And I hope that when you all go home, that you will hang or put your Arkansas Traveler certificate in a prominent place. And so we, you never know, who might come along.
Yeah. There might be
So
Walter.
we wish you a good trip back, and I know that you all are going to have a good time in D.C. and be able to demonstrate your firefighting skills.
Can I have a,
Get back here,
can the
Mike.
four of you,
Firefighter,
can you stand
firefighter
up here with
Robbie.
him?
Yeah, we still have,
Oh.
we still have
We
a,
still have a couple of,
Oh, I wanted to visit.
well, you can do that, and then we have another, well, let's wait a second, because their second present, they have two more presents.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, you just get too many
get
presents.
them.
It's too long.
Have another
I'll
beer.
try to be brief, although I
about to
may
do
have,
that
No, the brief is,
okay, we've got time, we've got time. So the last thing you would expect is to hear a Frenchman bragging about peanut butter in America. But I've got a good reason to brag about it, because this product that you see here is made in Little Rock since 1977. And nobody knows about it, even people who have been living in Little Rock forever.
Yeah, I know.
And it's one of the best kept secrets in Arkansas.
yes.
And we are pretty proud of saying that this product goes all around the world from Little Rock. I think it ships to 74 countries. And the reason I've got all this insider information is because I've been inside the building for 15 years. And nobody knew my name, but people recognized my accent and my t-shirt, which was always showing the Skippy colors everywhere I was going. And I've been never so proud to lead a team in my entire career. It's been a pretty long career in the consumer goods industry, but making a product that everybody can relate to, and with a team like the one I had in Little Rock, that was fantastic. When I got transferred from France, I said, oh, Little Rock, Arkansas, just like when you were here. And I was supposed to be a 3-year contract. I said, whoa, maybe I'm gonna last 2 years, maybe 3. And I loved it so much, I said 15 years, and then I retired. And I'm still here. After 4 years, I retired. So I'm very happy that your hostess had thought about bringing you a sample of one of the I would say most popular products made in Central Arkansas. The one recommendation I would make, don't take that with your carry-on baggage, because it's gonna get confiscated for all kinds of good and bad reasons. The good reason is that actually the density of peanut butter is the same as an explosive. So it would immediately get confiscated. And the bad reason is that the team at the office love confiscating peanut butter. They stop buying their hand.
I have that more than.
So every time I had visitors over there, I told them, don't take it with you unless you get a checked baggage, because it's gonna get confiscated. I told them, and I said, oh well, we'll take care. And it was. Yeah. So that's another way to test how well adjusted the X-ray machines are. Because if it doesn't get confiscated, that means that the machine doesn't work well. So with all these words of warning, it's my distinct pleasure to offer you this little sample of a Skippy product made in Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm going to start with that.
Thank you.
And,
I know Skippy. I know Skippy's. It's great for your dogs. I put 9 for them. I do. They love it.
Well, many practices of
I would say it's also good for dogs.
Our dogs will eat their medicine if you.
But it's things that can be sampled.
Wonderful for the dogs. My dogs have it at night. And
All
they're
right.
rotting
Well,
all day.
well, they're welcome.
They get it.
Ah, that's
And they stay right there because I put them in the freezer. And they watch me. I said, "Want your treat?" Yes, there
All
they
right.
are waiting for
Hey,
us.
you were last before?
Oh, I do. That's picking that with them. And they see
And
you
where
do
to
that
look?
more. Yes, you gotta be good.
And
You
Ravi,
know it's in the freezer.
thank you. You would need a super quick back.
I know. Whoa, I did something that's really interesting.
Oh,
I have no idea what's going on here.
Anyway, thank you.
Can I do can we do a picture?
Well, I don't know. Last but not least, I'll tell you that WJ is not only a wonderful friend of mine and Jim's, but he was Seymour's host for work, and I think they have a mutual admiration society going on. And he has been wonderful with both our YLI group of Latin and these guys as well, taking him to football and golf and drinking and dinner and drinking and more drinking.
Well, a lot of ways to dehydrate.
There were a lot of fires to put out.
Not just my kitchen.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to give each of you a couple of copies of our latest Arkansas business.
Thank you.
One bag.
It's a good way for you guys to see what all kind of scandalous things happen in Arkansas and the way that we bring to justice.
Oh, did you?
And then you can also continue to practice your English with that, although this group really doesn't need that.
No.
The second thing I want to tell you about is the hat that I'm wearing. I did not order to not come in, but you will be receiving this hat, which is the hat of our minor league baseball team in town, the Arkansas Travelers. And so you can see that the award that you got tonight goes back a long way. We went even to the extent of naming our baseball team the Arkansas Travelers, and they've been named that since 1901. So this little piece of history that you have received tonight really is really integral to our community here, and means a lot to us. You'll be receiving one of these hats so that you can not only verify and prove to people back in your countries that you were an Arkansas Traveler by putting that on your wall, but you can also put it on your head. I do want to give each of you, although Kelly and you were not able to attend our golf session.
Oh, you didn't play golf? Oh my gosh, I play golf.
I went to Pine Bluff
that day.
That's okay. Give it. I play golf.
I went to Pine Bluff that day.
Oh, you should have go play.
And lastly, so that you can go back and look very elegant in the meetings that you have in your countries, I'm giving you a leather embossed meeting notebook that's been embossed with the Arkansas Workforce Center's logo.
Thank you.
And for Seymour in particular, I'm giving you one that is embossed with the Little Rock Workforce Investment Board, which you were an intern for last month.
Thank you. Okay, Mary
Picture?
Claire, now you can do your picture.
Okay, come on, guys, girls, come on.
Everybody with
all your stuff.
Yeah, bring it out.
whatever.
Go stand over there.
What do I need to do?
Yeah,
Marco
come on.
says greetings to everyone.
All right. Okay,
It's like-
fellas, you're in the back. The girls are next to you, whatever.
Wait.
This looks like a play.
Where are you? Yes.
This looks like a funny play up in the.
You need to be over there.
Okay, now take our picture.
Okay.
Ravi, get up.
Come on, get on it, buddy.
All right.
It's like the family trap.
Beautiful.
It's like the trap family. Or Von Trapp, I'm sorry.
Female, dear.
Die familie
All right.
Von Trapp.
Got
Yeah. Do.
Are we good? Okay. Now, we have one other piece of entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to tell us what this is about.
Yeah, so after all the 1 month that we thought it gonna be quite a long time, but time flies. And then I think we all feel like we have a new family here, and then like everybody done so many things very well for us. So I thought having perform a traditional dance from my place would be something that can help just four of us to say thank you. So this dance is actually, some people maybe know Indonesia, some part of it is from Bali, but I want to tell you that how diverse Indonesia is, and then I'm from Sumatra Island in Indonesia, and then we have different types of cultural, and then the dance itself is also very diverse one to another. So like Walter said, I speak 6 languages, including all the local languages, but actually there are like more than 500 languages in Indonesia. So like we have more than 500 tribes in Indonesia, and it comes with different type of cultural activities. So what I will perform right now is from West Sumatra. It's from, we call it Minangkabau, and then we have a cultural, what we call it, like story from buffalo. So like the necklace that I'm wearing right now is our big house. We call it like a big family house. It's called Rumah Gadang. So it's all the traditional families lives in this house. It's a wood house, and then it has roof like a buffalo. What we call it? Horn. Yes. So you see that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and then because in my place from West Sumatra, where I was born, the dance is basically from self-defense move.
Oh.
So this one is something that about self-defense dance. So I hope you like it. The thing is, I don't know whether the music will be loud enough. So yeah.
Go ahead.
We'll be very quiet.
We'll
be very quiet.
Somebody have Bluetooth, oh yeah. Maybe you can use the YouTube, or you have
Sorry?
YouTube?
No, I have the music
Okay.
with me. It's just I don't know whether it's gonna loud enough or not, so everyone can hear the dance. Where should I put it?
Just here. I'll attend to it.
Yeah.
I can hold it here and then be kind of centered. I'll just, for once in my life, be quiet.
So
Don't mess it up, Tony.
It's nice like that.
Oh, I can't see it, so you're gonna have to press.
Turn the screen around.
okay.
Press what? Wait a minute.
Should I start?
Wait a minute, she's coming to tell you.
Yep.
What should she press?
There it is.
Okay, here it is.
Okay. You did not know her before, did you? You knew before you moved here? You knew her?
We met in Washington.
No, you did not know her before that.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Ira, could you actually like explain, because we have a similar culture, but yeah, maybe you could explain to them the symbolism behind those moves, and yeah, I think it would give them a...
So,
She's tired.
it's been like 10 years I didn't dance this, so I only had like short exercise practices this afternoon. So
you practice?
In my room.
Oh,
I did. I had to. So I've been dancing like since I was like 5 or 6 years old. So I went to I got paid for dancing since like I was in junior high school. So got invited to perform to welcome new guests or if there's weddings. So and I quit when I was in the university and working, and I was done anymore. So but basically the meaning of the dance itself is like, to be honest, I don't really know the details, but the basic is about the self-defense, about how we actually, like these things like...
Silat, is it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
silat.
Come in here so everybody can see you.
Oh, yeah, so it's silat. So we have self-defense from Indonesia. If you happen to see movie called Right 1 and Right 2, is all using silat. So silat. So silat is so that's why to learn this dance I only master it really after a year practicing. I had to learn it. So I have to have all basic self-defense is having this. So this is basically my practice. So it has to be really low. But yeah, I don't really know every single.
Yeah.
I have to be able to do that better. But yeah.
And what she's wearing is called a songket.
Yes. So actually, thank you, Linda, for allowing me to use this. So what makes this happen that I think I only bring the hat, but when I see this hanging at Linda's porch, I thought oh, that's something that's similar. So in Malaysia, we also have songket. Same name in my place is also songket, so it's almost similar. It's just the pattern.
Yeah.
So yeah, so silat basically they do it like that, So and then using that hat. So yeah, there are many different, more fancy clothes, but limited luggage. So I bring.
I have a question. Is this taught to all of the people that live where you live, and this is something special for them?
I can say yes, because not so many, especially when I was, learn this. It's not like everybody loves it or everybody have to or something. It's just an option. Basically in our place it's all by option. It's only because in my family, my mother and father have a basic, I don't know, skill that they have. For women, you have to be able to cook and you have to be able to dance. It's just because to make sure you're not boyish, though I'm actually, but then that's to make sure that you're in your, Well, that's my parents. I don't know. That's their right. So, and then the boys will go for self-defense. But for me, I went to both of them. I went for self-defense and I went for dance.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's sweet.
Very, very good.
Very, very nice. That's the end of our presentations and our entertainment, but that doesn't mean I don't still have a huge cooler of beer and lots of cookies.
And
So-
bourbon for.
Walter.
The
Bourbon.
Yeah, but definitely.
So they belong there. Yeah. So there is a dance, like we call it like dance.
And she's taking them all
Yeah,
to dance.
she also knows that we do here, whatever. We have that also, and they call that.
Very, very good.
I'm gonna get it.
That was so nice.
I've got to dance.
Yeah, but that is